Alright guys, so just following up on that Mosler safe for the spline key I could not get out, by the way. Obviously I got my truck back, thank God. Yeah, I ended up spending about half an hour on that trying to heat it. Pound it out with two tiny little punches, nothing. It's not moving, it's snapped flush. I cannot get it beyond that, so unfortunately I'm going to replace it with a new dial and a new lock. You know, the lock's 40 years old. I don't necessarily want to put something back in. I've got a cheapo I could throw in there. I'm just going to throw a Lagarde in there. Be happy with them. I'll give it to them. I don't care at this point. I've wasted more time than it's worth. So sometimes it's better just to swallow your pride, give them something that you know is going to work and no issues. They're really nice people. So I'm going to stop there tomorrow. We'll get that done. But today we're waiting for a maintenance guy to show up here. This is a bank we do a lot of work at. Unfortunately, they had a flood. Flood went from Sunday morning all the way to Monday morning. 8-inch water pipe, I guess. So let's take a quick look and see what kind of damage that would cause. Not a lot of speaking at this point because I don't want to go in there and be looking like a weirdo, but check this out. That's to the basement. Yes, that was all drywalled. That's to the second floor. Yeah, those are way up there. It's still here. The alarm's going off. Everything's waterlogged, so there was probably 6 feet of water in the basement. Not good. Yuck. So this was a fully functional bank up until Monday morning. Well, I guess technically Saturday afternoon it was fully functional. After that it sort of fell to the wayside. There's the truck, look at that, running rough. I just got it back, changed the battery and had to get it reflashed, so no biggie. Was not what I wanted to do, but hey, a little time down sometimes happens. So anyways, that's the bank we're working on today. Guess where the vault's at? Yeah, you guessed right. That's in the basement. So guess who gets to go down there and work in the swamp up to his knees? Well, there ain't no water left, but it's definitely swampy down there. So going to give it the quick once over. Probably just soak it down and hope for the best. But yeah, this is going to be probably a vault change out as opposed to repairing of any kind. So we'll be back, guys. I probably won't do much footage in there just because it is a secured bank. I don't want to be that guy. But anyways, we'll catch up with you guys later, and take care. I get a kick every time I come by this place, even though it's at half staff. Still monster of a flag. Huge. You can see that thing very far away. Go America! For those of you that may want to visit Illinois, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but hey, Chicago had its nice places at one time before it became the murder capital of the world. You'll see almost every time of the year, especially when it's workable months, pretty much everywhere from May to October, there's construction everywhere. The Illinois people that work for the roads will tell you it's because of our expanding and contracting uses of the roads, meaning the cold and the heat. We have extremes of both, which we do. But one thing I can tell you about me, I'm just turned 50, so I've actually done every state in the U.S. and Hawaii and Alaska. So I've traveled all these different roads, and I call bullshit on it. These roads are the worst roads you'll ever find. I found actually a few worse, but not many. And for the taxes that we get charged in Illinois, which we are one of the top tax states in the 50 states, these roads are always terrible. A lot of insider trading goes on in this state if you don't see it on the news. Almost every one of our governors is in jail for corruption of some kind or has been in jail for it. Yeah, it's just became a state of everybody stealing. I'm not going to get into the politics of the Republican and Democrat thing. We all know what's going on there. Both sides sort of suck, but hey, whatever. It's the lesser of evils. Whatever it is, it is. But yeah, these roads are terrible. Like I said, that was one of my goals in life was to do all 50 states before I hit 50, and I did that. The last 2 states I did were Alaska and Hawaii, also the most expensive by far, but yeah, really cool states. People always ask me what are my favorite states. Believe it or not, some of my favorite states are really just oddballs, which are like Montana. I think it's beautiful. I don't know if I'd want to retire there necessarily, but it's just a beautiful place, beautiful country. I don't know if I'd want to do winters there, though. That's a little scary. Utah, too. Really like that. Not a Mormon or anything. Nothing against them. Nice people. But definitely it's a very neat state. Sort of like California, which I like California. I just don't like its politics. Obviously, it's got a bunch of crazies there. But California's pretty cool because you go everywhere from the south end, which is desert area almost, all the way up to obviously the ocean, and then you go further up north past San Francisco and you get into hilly and foresty. So it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of different climates in one state. Lake Tahoe is a big favorite of mine though, and there's almost every state I could tell you there's some pretty cool stuff in them. I didn't stop and do like a lot in some of the states. Some of the ones I really didn't care for. Philadelphia, sorry. It was really pretty rough around the edges, but hey, it is what it is. It's still unique. I give them credit, whatever, but I'm not going to fall for the standing in line and doing the stupid Liberty Bell thing again. That was a tourist trap if I ever seen one. Love the country, but yeah, that's a sucker's bet there. So anyways, we're heading out to way out to Sycamore to go finish up this Mosler that we couldn't get the dial apart. So we'll be catching up with you in a little bit. We got Jeffro coming in, giving you a little story time. Talk to you soon. Yo, 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 what's up, my crackers? I consider myself the safecracker, so you're all my crackers too. And if that offends you, sorry. If you need a shoulder to cry on, pull off the side of the road. I don't really care. Go talk to HR. Anyways, so yeah, we're heading up to the job in Sycamore, which is about 23 miles from me, so not close, but you know, one of those things. I was in the loaner truck, nothing I could do about it. Had to frickin' bite the bullet and come back. So I tried to take that spindle out. That thing is just totally seized in there. Long and short, I spent a good hour on it. That's probably like the second one I've never been able to get out in 30 years, so that's not a bad run, but it is what it is. I'm just going to give them a new Lagarde, put it in, deal with it. For those that don't know, the Mosler 302 is a pretty unique mounting for at least the dial ring, so I had to modify one to fit that. I'm probably going to have to either retap the door or retap the dial ring, one or the other. We'll see which one works. I'll have to do that on site, unfortunately. So it's starting to rain, as you can see. But since I got a good 11 miles at least before I get to my next turn, it's story time with Jeffro. So this one goes back to my early days in locksmithing. It's when I used to do a lot of car lockouts and house lockouts. Second business I worked for. Nice people, by the way. But yeah, it was a car lockout. Lady called, said she was locked out. Okay. She says, I'll be in the garage. Just beep when you get there. I'll open the overhead door. Okay, cool. Get there. Beep. Overhead door goes up. Big black SUV. Sort of tinted windows. It was a Suburban, I remember. Go up to the window and the door cracks about 2 inches. The lady says, I'm going to have to stay in the car and I'll need you to open the door, and then I'll close the overhead door, and I'll meet you in the front. I said, okay, I do need ID, you know, that's one thing. And I noticed when I was able to peek through the window, she's wearing like a full, nothing but a newspaper around her top, and pretty much looked like she had one on her waist. I didn't see because it was a little bit tall for me to see, but I'm assuming that's what it was. So I said to her, okay, I'll need ID once you're in. She says, no problem. She says, I'll be honest with you, and this was through the window, the door cracked, you know, the Suburban door cracked about 2 inches. She said, I walked out to get the newspaper, pretty much not buff, but just about, and the door's locked. So she's like, I'm really feeling like a fool. Get it. Luckily, I was able to pick it open like super fast. Felt like I had a key almost. It was that fast. It was 3 rakes of a Schleg F. Boom, I'm in. I'm done. Tell her we're up and done. You can open the door, close, and then close the overhead door. Get your clothes on. Meet me up front with ID. Sure enough, yep. Door closes. I'm waiting outside. All good to go. Yeah, she met me up front at the front door, and gave me the ID. She did live there, and had clothes on at that time. She's just like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, you know, this one's I'm probably not going to forget for a while, but that's that could happen. Honestly, yeah. I think any of us that probably went out to get the newspaper or get something, and this was sort of in the middle of nowhere. It was a pretty hoity-toity house, so I know she didn't have neighbors that were that close, and yeah, I'm sure go out there in your underwear, go out there buff if you really are that kind of person. But apparently, yeah, all she had in the garage then was the recycling, which had newspapers, and luckily she had that to put on for a cover-up. So that's it. That's my Tales of the Jeff Rose storyline today. That was a good one, I remember, and she was a cutie too, but married, so off limits there, but just a funny one I won't remember. So we'll catch up with you later, guys. I'm gonna go run this light. We'll see you later. Bye. Sycamore downtown. I'll try to tape this. I was trying to get the city hall. It's pretty cool, old and historic for Sycamore, this little town. Here it is here. Pretty cool old building. Sorry, can't get much. It's rainy today.